And here it is. This is what I was talking about. This is coming from the Chicago Sun-Times. All right. So R. Kelly charged with sexually abusing four victims. At least three of them are minors. Now, before I start, I'm not defending this guy, but I'm just pointing out the obvious and the attacks that's going on and how you know, how they're coming for him and whatnot. Friday was R. Kelly's day of reckoning. Look how they titled this. Okay. The embattled R&B was charged with 10 counts of aggravated criminal sexual abuse. He is expected to appear in bond court Saturday, one day after Cook County prosecutors allege in an explosive indictment filed Friday for the abusive involved four victims, at least three of them minors, from 1998 to 2010. Wow. See, now the statute of limitation is okay. Kelly was expected to surrender to police Friday night. The minors were arrested between 13 and 16, prosecutors said. Kelly is 51. Prosecutors appeared before Judge Dennis Porter Friday, who approved a no bail warrant for Kelly record show. At a news conference Friday, Cook County State Attorney Kim Fox briefly went through the charges against Kelly. Each count is a Class 2 felony, each of which can be punished by 3 to 7 years in prison or as little as probation. Fox answered no question at the news conference. Kelly's attorney Steven Greenberg said before a Fox News conference that he had not been notified his client had been charged. Later Friday afternoon, Greenberg told reporters outside R. Kelly's near West Side studio that R. Kelly would be cleared. He's going to go to bond court and he's going to get out, he said. They're making him a sacrificial lamb for their own sake, and there's no merit to any of this. Okay. Kelly's has been dogged by allegations of sexual impropriety for 2 decades, charges that were first detailed by the Chicago Sun-Times. The indictment on Friday marks the first time he has been charged with any crime since he was acquitted of child pornography charges in 2008, in a case that received international attention. In the 36-page indictment, prosecutors outlined a variety of alleged sexual misconduct. The victims are identified only by their initials. In one instance, Kelly allegedly ejaculated on the victim's body for the purpose of Robert Kelly's or LC's sexual gratification or arousal, the indictment said. In the three other instances, the victims performed oral sex on Kelly, the document says. No evidence, just documents. Michael Avenatti, a.k.a. the man who lost his case against trying to sue Donald Trump over the whole Stormy Daniels thing, he's just bitter. A well-known attorney said he recently provided a videotape to the Cook County State Attorney's Office. The tape showed R. Kelly's having sex with a 14-year-old girl. Now, if that's true, that's really disgusting, and he deserves to pay for that. Again, because I'm not defending him, I'm just making sense of this. At a news conference in Chicago Friday afternoon, Avenatti that he is representing at least one of the girls that were included in the indictment handed down. He declined to identify his client, who he said was a minor at the time of the alleged abuse. He also declined to say what his clients told a grand jury investigating the singer. Today marks water, a watershed movement in the 25 years of abuse by this predator, R. Kelly, Avenatti said. He said R. Kelly was able to get away with the alleged abuse for years because the victims were girls who weren't listened to and weren't valued. Get the fuck out of here. These women, okay. These were the most vulnerable, yet this predator, Mr. R. Kelly, preyed on them. And he ripped Kelly's enablers, agents, bodyguards, and other workers for Kelly, who turned a blind eye while this occurred over 2 decades. Avenatti said he turned over a 40-minute video shot in 1999 at R. Kelly's residence at the time, It allegedly showed the singer having sex with a teen girl. He did not say whether the video was part of the evidence used to indict Kelly. Repeatedly on the video, both the victim and Mr. Kelly referred to the victim age as being 14. He said he added this was in no way role playing. It is clear that this young lady was 14 years of age during the time when it was shot. As if he had a message to Kelly, Avenatti said, "It is high time for you to face justice for the conduct you have engaged in for over 2 decades. And don't count on getting out of prison," he said. Shortly before the press conference started, Avenatti tweeted out photos purportedly taken from the tape and one shot a superimposed what the fuck superimposed arrow points to the mole on a man's back. When Kelly stood trial in 2008, his attorney argued that he could not have been the man in the now infamous video because there was no visible mole on that person's back. The new charges against Kelly comes less than 2 months after Fox made a public plea for new Kelly accusers to come forward so that the office could investigate. Fox said that she was sickened by the accounts described in the surviving R. Kelly Lifetime television series. The Sun-Times reported that at least 2 women came forward after Fox made her plea, although one later said she had declined to press charges. A Sun-Times reporter told one of the women of Kelly's criminal charges Friday afternoon, to which she replied, "Awesome, thank God, that's a blessing, I'm so happy." Several media outlets have reported that Kelly is also under federal investigation as well as under investigation in other cities. Okay. Former Sun-Times reporter Jim DeRogatis reported Thursday that the U.S. Attorney files for the Southern and Eastern Districts of New York, along with the FBI and Department of Homeland Security, were investigating Kelly. Representatives for the federal offices could not be reached for comment Friday. Another investigation by officials in Fulton County, Georgia, is also active, though a representative for Fulton County Prosecutor's Office said there was no update in the investigation as of Friday afternoon. Gerald Griggs, an attorney for the family of Jocelyn Savage, one of the women featured in Surviving R. Kelly, told the Sun-Times that the FBI had been in recent contact with Savage's family. Griggs stated, "After 2 years of extensive work, investigation, and a lot of prayer, my clients are hopeful that the recent charges against Robert Sylvester Kelly will lead to justice. We are ready to travel to Chicago to reunite Savage family with hashtag Jocelyn Savage, who said she don't want to leave anyway." The charges filed Friday are markedly different from those R. Kelly faced in 2002 when he was indicted for 21 counts of child pornography. And those differences are significant for the singer. The child porn charges Kelly faced at trial more than a decade ago were based on a video of R. Kelly having sex with a girl prosecutors said was as young as 13 at the time the tape was filmed, but the prosecution faltered because the alleged victim in that case and her parents would not cooperate with investigators. And at trial, the girl's parents denied their daughter was the girl on the tape. Prosecutors so far have given little information about the evidence that was used for the charges announced Friday. The charges filed Friday are felonies, but would seem to involve sex acts, specifically sexual penetration of the allegedly underage victim's mouth and sex organs. That would have led to more serious counts, including sexual assault or statutory rape. Avenatti on Friday said the charges were conservative, but praised prosecutors for a well-thought-out indictment. And this is just, I guess, so, I don't know. I guess the charges or whatnot, the case file. You guys can read it. All right. Well, god damn. Hold up a second. Okay, I'm not going. Okay. Well, it looks like they finally got R. Kelly, or they're going to get him. Whatever's going to come out of this, all I gotta say is, I hope they go after the white man with the same vigor and the same energy. But, whatever happens, happens. It does. I don't know. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments. Subscribe, share the video. I'll talk to you next.